Hello everyone, let's continue our journey in enterprise architecture. In our previous video, we introduced the business area and business price. Today, let's move on to business task. Business task is like a freelancer. You may see it show up in business activity A, and then it appears again in business activity B. Alright, let's get to know it better. In order to achieve the specific business task objective, a task is a set of business steps executed by internal business roles within the enterprise. A business task is typically defined as a series of actions performed by a role to achieve a specific business objective. The advantage of this definition is that it helps to slice business processes more clearly, clarifies business boundaries, and lays the groundwork for the next step, translation them to code. A business activity is composed of multiple business tasks, with value being transferred from one task to another. You may recall that in the meta-model chapter, we discussed the creation and modification of entities, changes that take place within each business task. Let's take an example. An IT project team consisting of a project manager, an architect, a product manager, a front-end developer, and a back-end developer. Each of them plays a distinct role and contributes different functions. During the project implementation process, there is continuous creation, modification, and transfer. Your output becomes my input, which ultimately achieves the business objective. Let's discuss roles and positions. The same term often represents both the functions a person performs and the position they hold within organizational structure, which can often lead to confusion. For example, the head of Department A represents both the position of the department manager within the company and the function of managing the people and the tasks within Department A. Can you understand? Let's take an example. Because the back-end developer is sick, the head of Department A steps in to write code in order to meet the projected deadline. In this case, his function becomes that of a back-end developer. Let's take another example. In a battle, a machine gunner is killed, and the deputy squad leader picks up the heavy machine gun to continue firing. After a while, he is also killed, and the squad leader then assumes the role of the machine gunner, continuing to fire. Therefore, we can see that the role of the machine gunner can be fulfilled either by the machine gunner himself or by the squad leader or the deputy squad leader. Just as we mentioned earlier, a task can appear in multiple activities. Clearly defining its boundaries serves the purpose of delineation IT functional boundaries. Therefore, the business task is a key element in digital transformation. A business activity is composed of business tasks, and the business task is characterized by being value driven, enterprise level, and standardized. A business task can appear in multiple business activities because it is conceptualized as a capability dimension, not the business precise dimension. A business task belongs to a business component, just as an architect belongs to the digital department, or a back-end engineer belongs to the development department. They appear in a team because the project requires their capabilities. The role that performs a business task can be taken by anyone who possesses the required capability. It is similar to an old Chinese saying, "It doesn't matter whether a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." A business task encapsulates rule variations. A variable factor is a variable that influences the execution of a business step during the process. Variable factors define how business rules are implemented to support flexibility. When each variable factor is specific, a business use case is formed. At this point, the business steps within the business task become business use case steps. We will cover variable factors and business steps in more detail in future videos. It's brought up here because of the relationship between business use cases and business tasks. Alright, if you find this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will select some representative ones and answer them in short videos. Okay, see you next time.